Over the last 25 years, I've stumbled on a fascinating link that I've seen between the gut and the sinuses. And over again, I see patients' sinus problems go away when I've treated their gut. So I thought that it was time to finally share some of these stories so that more people will hopefully find healing for this challenging problem. Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Wangen, the founder and medical director of the IBS Treatment Center. I focus on helping people solve digestive problems, but helping people get healthy is about treating the whole body, not just the digestive system. And health, when you help somebody get healthy in one area, doesn't limit itself to one system or one anatomical area of the body. Now, what I mean by that is that over the years, as I've worked with patients to help them discover the underlying causes of their digestive problems, we've consistently seen that at the same time, they've gotten better in lots of other areas of their life, of their health, right? A lot of other problems have also gotten better, and it turns out we were dealing with the cause of lots of things, not just the cause of their digestive problems. And one of the improvements that stands out is that patients with chronic sinus problems almost always report that they have far fewer or no sinus problems later on after we work on their digestive problems. And that improvement usually starts right away and then continues almost indefinitely, basically. So even years later, patients will report back to me that they no longer have sinus problems, even if they previously had them for many, many years prior to us working on their digestive issues. So why is it that antibiotics generally don't seem to solve the problem for very long in most cases? Now let's start by reviewing what normally happens when you get a sinus infection, right? You get maybe a headache and pressure in the front of your face and maybe lots of mucus and discharge. And it can be really incredibly uncomfortable, right? A lot of you have experienced that. And for many people, it's debilitating, right? You're out for a day or two or several days because of a sinus infection. And you go to the doctor and you probably get an antibiotic because they say, oh, you've got a sinus infection, and hopefully it gets better. But did it get better forever, right? Did it come back, and did that truly solve the problem? Why did you get the infection in the first place? And I know that a lot of you are probably told something like, oh, you've got a deviated septum. But I'm not convinced that's it, because there are a lot of people who have deviated septums who don't have sinus infections. And I think even more convincing is that I've seen patient after patient who tell me that they went in for sinus surgery and they still have the same sinus problems that they had before the surgery, and it didn't change or cure anything. So maybe you also use something like, maybe use neti pots, which are great. By the way, I love them, but you do them. Of course, you do neti pots on a regular basis, or at least when you get an infection, but you still have the problem, right? You still keep getting this tendency to sinus infections, and you have to just keep using the neti pot all the time. So what's really happening? Why do you need to do that? And is it something else that's making your sinuses susceptible to developing an infection? And that's the question I want you to ask yourself, because the infection is usually, in my experience, a symptom of something else. And there's something else that's actually the cause, not the infection. That's something else that's leading you to be susceptible to the infections. So you end up treating the infection, which is just the symptom, but that's why it keeps coming back, right? Why you have chronic sinus problems, because you haven't actually yet found the cause of the problem. Until you do find that cause, your sinus problems are just going to keep continuing. So how do the sinuses, how are they linked to the gut? Well, over the course of my career, I've seen a ton of seemingly unrelated health issues improve when people find and treat the underlying cause of their digestive problems, like I was saying. So I'm a big believer in the gut being the foundation of our health, because of course that's my bias. That's what I do, right? I work on gut issues, but I've seen this over and over and over. And I can explain a lot of reasons why that is true and why it's happening. But recently I realized something that I think is even more important, and it's this. The sinuses are literally part of the digestive system, part of that same complex. They're anatomically connected to the gut. So hear me out. Think about it. the sinuses are accessed where? Through your nose or through your mouth. So if you go to the back of your throat and you go up, you can get to the sinuses. So your mouth and your throat is, of course, also the gateway to your digestive system. So there's no huge barrier between your sinuses and your digestive tract. They're part of that same, I'm going to call them a cave system, right? And that may be why sinus problems are so closely connected to the health of the digestive tract. Now, what causes chronic sinus problems? Well, I first want to point out that you don't have to have digestive problems in order for these issues to help your sinuses. Half of all celiacs, get this, do not have digestive problems, but they can still have lots of other different problems. And celiac is the classic gluten intolerance. So keep that in mind when you're coming up with reasonings for, oh, this won't work because I don't have digestive problems, because you don't have to have them. Now, the most common cause that I see are food allergies or intolerances. And these are the kinds of food reactions that you're probably going to have to see a doctor like me, somebody who's really different than your regular doctor, to help you figure out, because most doctors are clueless about most types of food reactions. But when you have a food reaction, meaning the kind of reaction that is measured by testing antibodies, right? So you're testing antibodies, which are part of your immune system, then that means that you're triggering inflammation. And when you're triggering inflammation, you are susceptible to that inflammation impacting literally any part of your body. And because everything in your body is connected, like I pointed out, that is especially true for the sinuses and the digestive tract, right? But the food reactions aren't the only digestive issue that can trigger a sinus problem, because the sinuses and the digestive tract are, like we said, part of that same cave system that runs through you. And that means that they share the same microbiome. And they are literally a part of this same ecosystem that's within you. And if the microbiome in your mouth and your esophagus or your stomach isn't as healthy as it should be, then that impacts the microbiome in the sinuses, which can then lead to sinus infections, which is a bacterial issue, right? It's part of the microbiome. So that's a Pandora's box that we don't really have time to dive deeply into now, but I hope that at least it's giving you a little introduction into this important concept about the gut-sinus connection. Now, I would love to hear if you've seen a connection between your digestion or your foods and your sinus health. So please share those stories in the comments section below. And if you need help sorting out the connection between your sinuses and your digestive system, give us a call at the IBS Treatment Center. We would love to work with you, even if you don't have IBS. Now, if you found this video helpful or interesting, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more fascinating insight into your health. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. We create informative videos like this weekly. So if you enjoyed it, please help our channel by sharing a screenshot or the link to the video on Facebook or Instagram or your favorite social media. And be sure to tag me wherever you post and let me know what you liked about the video and what topics you'd like me to discuss in the future. If you visit our website at ibstreatmentcenter.com, we're currently offering a free ebook on how to beat IBS, so be sure to check that out. It's time to take control of your digestive problems and get your life back. I'd also appreciate it if you could subscribe to our channel here, like this video, and leave a comment or question below. I'll do my best to read and respond to all of them. Thank you, and until next time.